Today, the Conway Inn is a place where people from different backgrounds can share a drink, a story, a ball game, or a pizza. Locals, whose ancestors' names mark the gravestones in the town cemeteries, mingle with newcomers who found the inn or the town by accident of fate or serendipity.
I'm Steve Thomas, and Matt's asked me to comment on the Conway Inn. I'm a relative newbie to town. My wife and I came here about 6 years ago, and my first trip out here, I happened to come down Route 116 from western Pennsylvania, where I used to live, and there were some lights on. This place called the Conway Inn appeared, and this was 1 o'clock in the morning after about a 12-hour ride, and I was bushed and a little cottony in the mouth, so I thought it'd be nice to have a beer. So I stopped by, and anyway, bar was closing, but I looked around and said the Conway Inn reminds me of a place called Junebugs, a pub out where I used to live, where I had many good conversations with a lot of neat people. So anyway, we ended up choosing a house in Conway. I can't help but think it was linked to the fact that the Conway Inn impressed me, to be able to have a place you can walk to and meet such interesting people. But here we are on Whately Road in Pumpkin Hollow, and I frequently go down to the inn for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a melting pot. Unlike a lot of taverns or pubs or bars, typically the ones that have brass, oak, and ivy, this is a real down-to-earth pub where you can go and meet a broad spectrum of people. They say it takes a village to raise a child, and my comment would be that, backing up a little bit, it takes, what does it take to make a village? And in my somewhat biased opinion, it takes a place like the Conway Inn where you can go and mix with people and have a good time. A lot of people get down there not to get something to drink, but just to meet people and socialize. And I've told Barb countless times that this is the social hub of Conway, and I mean it. It's a really beautiful spot, and we enjoy going there, going down and playing music when we want to, getting pizza, and meeting a broad spectrum of people. When I came out here, some of the people back in western Pennsylvania said it's going to take you 50 to 100 years before you get accepted around, New England. I says, well, we'll see. And thanks to the Conway Inn, I think it took about a month and a half. If the Conway Inn didn't exist, Conway would not be the town it is now.
I did a short stint in mortgages, very short, and I was like, you can't buy a house for under $200,000 because the loan limits of this and that or whatever. And I looked on the listing and I plugged it in. I'm like, see, there's nothing. And then, bing, comes this cute little house on Maple Street in Conway for under $200,000.
The river runs through it.
Right. That's what we named it.
We made an offer.
That's how we met Kathy Forrest. Kathy's office was next to mine, and we weren't going to buy a house or move or anything. And I said, I found this house and I want this house. And she made it happen the next day that we went and saw it. And then we put an offer on it, and we would come up and take rides and look at it.
So it was one Sunday afternoon. We didn't have any kids, so we came up to take a ride. And we're looking at it, driving around, and come to the downtown, and we see the Conway Inn. And it's like, we have to go there. Let's go. And Kate says, I can't do it. I can't go in. We acknowledge that if we couldn't feel comfortable going into the only establishment in town, then maybe we're making the wrong decision about moving here. But we also didn't want to be disappointed because we loved the house so much and we loved the town. So we drove around a couple times.
And we drove the block like 3 times, at least 3 times. There's a tap room and it has a yellow light and it says, Miss Kitty, check your
guns.
Yeah. I'm like, well, at least it's not a red light. You know what? There wasn't a red light. But for some reason, I had like this in my head. You know, we lived in Northampton, which we weren't huge fans of, but it was a place where we could be comfortable with the kids in school and not worry about holding hands if we're in a bar. So we drove around and around and around, and
we went in.
We did. And it was.
So we introduced ourselves as just moving to town, and
everyone knew the house and the neighbors.
Drinks were backing and forth, but
we had pizza.
We ended up staying for pizza. We had
4 hours.
Yeah, we were there for a while. But you were smoking at the time.
I was.
And
cigarettes.
She comes out to have a smoke, and Barb comes out to have her smoke. Well, while out there, Kate goes out and says to Barb, so, how do people, feel about lesbians in this town?
I don't remember this.
And Barb said, well, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it, and if they did, they wouldn't say anything. That's the type of town this is. And you didn't remember that? You came in and told me that.
I sort of remember that.
So, yeah, we ended up staying forever, and now we go there all the time.
A number of years back, I was living in the neighborhood with friends, and at bedtime for the kids, the young kids didn't want to go to bed. There'd be conflict and not a good, great place to be, so I would go down to the Conway Inn for a couple of beers until the kids were in bed and settled in. So I went down one night, and there were 3 other patrons at the bar. I didn't know them, they were regulars. And I had a couple of beers and I left, and I discovered that there was damage done to my car. And it wasn't mine, it was my girlfriend at the time. We hadn't been together that long, we're married now. $350 done to the car, somebody backed into it and drove away. It was one of those people who had been in the bar and left and never said anything. They could have come in, hey, sorry, backed into your car, we'll exchange papers. That didn't happen. So I said, geez, I don't think I want to come back into this place again. So I didn't for about 8 years. And when I did, I got a wonderful welcome. Barbara was there. I was coming down to hear music, and I realized that I had, misjudged the place based on one incident and one individual, and that was my loss, not anybody else's. So, at any rate, I go there now on and off. I enjoy Barbara's company, and you asked about the pizza. The pizza's really good down there. Exceptional. The woman that works in the kitchen is really great. I did have an unusual one, and they're very understanding there. I asked to have Cheetos put on one night, and they didn't balk at that. And it wasn't the best decision I ever made, and I won't do it again. But
my wife and I always get the artichoke and pesto pizza, and it goes down well with the steel rim. That's all we get.
The bacon on the pizza is ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
It's
you like the chicken, buffalo chicken? What is it?
No, I like barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken, right.
And I'll get barbecue chicken, broccoli, and bacon. Although lately my favorite has been like veggies with bacon.
And I'm trying to get her to get linguiça to put on the pizza. She's contemplating it. I'm going to try to push her over the edge. I like a good linguiça pizza.
But you like mushroom.
I love the mushroom.
Your favorite is the mushroom pizza.
Yep, that's true.
Pizzas are the best here. They have good pizza. If you're going to the inn, weekend, you might as well get a pizza. Don't go off to all in fancy places, Go right, stay right there. You get the good stuff.
After 160 years as the town's social center, the Conway Inn continues to play an essential role in this hilltown community. It is a gathering place where people's thirst for a drink or for the company of others can both be satisfied.